Jessica Levin speaks on using technology to communicate and market more effectively. With over 15 years of marketing experience, Jessica uses technology and creativity to connect businesses and associations with the people that they're trying to reach. As a former association executive and certified meeting professional, Jessica has a passion for the events industry and those who support and supply the profession. She believes in creating interactive and engaging experiences and in converting attendees to participants. When it comes to technology, she uses a plain English approach so that people of all technical abilities can understand the content. All of her presentations embrace that same philosophy that she teaches to clients. Jessica's worked with the New Jersey State Society of CPAs, PCMA, ASAE, MPI, CCH, Booz Allen Hamilton, the Texas State Bankers Association, and many more.
Blogs are a great resource for adding content to enhance the message of an organization or for an event. Contributors can come from internal leadership, industry thought leaders, committee members, volunteers, and even speakers. Having a mix of contributors to the blog adds a variety of perspectives and can make it more interesting for the reader.
Just real quick, wanted to talk about blogs. How many of you are using blogs for your events? Nobody. Okay. So blogs obviously are something that take a lot of time and a lot of commitment. But especially I find for really technical conferences or events, it can be really a good way to start, not really so much start the conversation, but start to share some of the important content. As you're negotiating your speaker contracts, ask your speakers to write blog posts for you. A couple before, a couple after. You know, they may say no. They may say I'll do one after and one before. But here's a good way to start sharing the content and then follow up. There's a lot of different strategies you can do. You can have committee members writing things. Your destinations. Ask, how many of you have ever been asked by a planner, a hotel or a destination, to write a blog post and share information for their event? You have. Hotels, if your planners are not asking you to do this, or destinations, suggest it. Ask them, do you have an event blog and can I contribute content to it? Again, it's not a sales pitch. It's not, our city is so great, but how about, here's 10 tips that you might not know of, and maybe you're providing some historical information about your city or historical information about your hotel. I mean, I'm sure everybody here has been to Chicago, and every single property in Chicago says, do you want to hear our Al Capone story? We hit Al Capone here. So that, you know, that type of fun content that would really help to enhance an event, especially if the blog might have a lot of that technical information on it. It's fun to spice it up.
So basically, the way I look at it, and there are differing opinions, it's just a vehicle. It's just a tool for communication. It's no different than what we've been doing before. The big difference, I think, is that word social. And I think it's really important to remember that. It's about relationship building. And
so now, I'm really going to test your creativity. And what I want you to do is break into groups. Does everybody have a handout from this morning? You should have picked it up at registration. Okay. You really only need one per table, one per group. What I want you to do is spend the next 20 or so minutes. There's a case study on there, and you'll see it's a very generic case study. And I did that intentionally. And you can create whatever details you want about that event. I want you to pick 2 social media platforms. They could be something that I talked about. They could be something that maybe it's mobile. Maybe it's something that doesn't exist. And I want you to go through 2 scenarios of what you would use and how would you use it.
An important consideration when thinking about technology is to focus on the overall strategic business goals and then work backwards. Whether you're thinking about using the latest social network or the coolest gadget on the market, take a look at what you're trying to achieve and what the end result should be, and then figure out what technology is appropriate for your organization or your event.
And before we really get into strategy, there's some ground rules for this entire session. And we have one big rule, and that's that this is a no-fear zone. Our rule is to make you comfortable. So in this room, there are no stupid questions. So if we cover something that you don't understand, please stop us, because we want you to understand it. We don't, yes, it's fancy and it's sexy, and, but when we talk about strategy, we want it to have a purpose, and if you don't understand it, we're not doing our job. That's right. From an events perspective, making a session more fun. You could have a speaker that's conveying a very serious message, but they can do it through humor where you're entertained and you're learning. So as we apply technology to that and to that entertainment factor, entertainment and engagement really go together, and you don't necessarily have to think about it in terms of the fancy parties. Although if that is what you're doing, if you're doing a sales meeting and it's a rewards meeting, then you can apply that. But what we really want you to think about is what is going to enhance the attendee experience, another E, so engagement and entertainment.